Hi guys, I'm Devrhoid Davis here with my first ever vlog. It's December 29th. No, it's the 30th. Today is December 30th. And I've not too long come from church with my aunt. And what I'm going to be doing now is basically watching some videos. So I'm literally just documenting my journey. Decided that I was going to do a lot more video this year around, film everything as Garyvee says, and then try to extract the micro content from it. So about a week ago, Evan Carmichael, who is one of my mentors and somebody whom I really respect, gave out this challenge to watch Garyvee's 7 hour 19 minute and 57, I think it's 50-second video. So it's 7 hours 19 minutes of pure video of just him in Dubai, his literal all throughout his day, documented, and you get to see him and keynotes and what it's actually like to be a CEO and a speaker traveling around the world. So that's what the whole 7 hours of the video is, and we're doing a challenge now to watch all 7 hours of it. Right now I'm at 4 hours 19 minutes, so I have exactly 3 hours left in the video, and I decided that I was going to record myself watching the remaining 3 hours. So that will give me 3 hours of content, as well as it will allow me to finish the challenge. I think right now I'm ahead of Evan if his last tweet is the latest update. So what you're about to see is me watching 3 hours. Well, what you're about to see is really me watching 1 hour uninterrupted of Garyvee's 7.5 hour video of him in Dubai. So let's go. Okay, let me just bring it up. I have it bookmarked here as a day in the life. Day in the life of an American CEO, speaker. Alright, let's make sure that you guys can see that as well. It's not that important to see me, at least not anymore. My father worked every minute. I really didn't get to spend a lot of time with him until I was 14, 15 when I worked in the liquor store. And he started working at for $2 an hour as a stock boy, and eventually saved all. So I'm starting over. I'm resuming from exactly 4 hours. This is directly after he has delivered the keynote, which is like a 1 hour keynote. It starts at 3 hours, I think 3 hours 11 seconds or something thereabout. 3 hours 11 minutes. I just want to be sure about that. Let me make sure. Sorry, 3 hours 2 minutes is where the keynote actually starts. Every family, every business is completely okay, good. So I guess that's a good enough view. I'm going to try to bring this up. No. Let's see if that's better. Good, that's better. Let me bring the volume up. Need to escape full screen just to bring the volume up. I ran my own business. Much better. Agency. We're very successful. We're about 50 people, 4 markets, 4 offices. Wow. We're doing well. My plan as the next plan was to go and expand and maybe open an office in the US. It's a huge market, and it was always on my top of the list. That's awesome. After you talk also about going to the US or not, that's also something that I always think about. I always have other plans like go and do an MBA. What's your advice I've actually seen this part already, but I'm just watching it over.
Options? I pick one. What's the process? The same thing everybody goes through, I think. I feel. I'm just a decision maker. It's always been my way. I don't overthink, and I don't say to myself, if I say to myself, should I open an office in America? Should I triple down on my 4 offices? Or should I go get an MBA? I'll spend some time. Some decisions happen in an hour. Some take a month. In my head. But what I think I do very well that I always try to tell others is when I decide, everything else is gone. I think too many people dwell. Too many people say, what if? You don't know what if. America might have been right. It might have been your biggest success. But because you were in America, something bad might have happened to your life because you got hit by a bus in Chicago. Could happen. So I think people are very naive about life. I think about Uber a lot. I passed on Uber twice. Angel, from my best friend. The only person I thank in my book, Crush It, besides my family, Travis. For me to pass on Uber during the height of my investing is unprecedented. It's crazy that I passed on it. I can't believe it. Like twice? A second time in San Francisco. Every time I pass the place where we had the meeting, I get funny feelings. Travis sat me down and said, please invest in Uber. A second time, I said, please. I just bought an apartment. I was doing some other stuff with nonprofit. I didn't have as much money as I like to have. And I said no. If I gave $25,000, I would have made $400 million. Right? I often think about where my career is now, but imagine if I had that too. What it takes me to is, man, I would have probably been more international faster. Maybe 2-3 years ago I would have traveled. But all the time I think the same thing, which is, yes, I might have gotten Uber, but I really do think, as extreme as I just told you, what if I was in Japan and tripped in the street and got hit by, I think that way, because that's life. That's life. And so I just don't look backwards once I make a decision. I also am super fascinated why.
While I'm doing this, I might get a few little gems out of the video, so you might see me on my phone because I'm going to stop to either write them down or to literally use Canva and make a post for social media. So you might see me interrupting the video for those things, but this is going to be a raw video going on YouTube, so, and I don't think anybody is going to really watch it, so I guess I can be as authentic as is possible. Yeah, anyway, getting back to the video.
You would even consider an MBA?
I just love to learn more.
Yeah, but there's so many ways. I think it's been on your mind a long time because that's the framework you grew up in. But where you are in life now, you're far better off to not go to an MBA, but to maybe go work for a top executive at Amazon or Google or WeChat. Like, you're way beyond an MBA. If you want to learn more, go learn in the trenches. You'll be very disappointed with the best MBA in the world. It's theory versus truth.
Thank you, Gary. You guys are so grateful to have this time with you. If you'd like to have a... Sorry.
It's a recent question. I'm an external student and I recently have...
Okay, so again, me interrupting, but what he just said right now, that's probably going to be the first one that I'm going to write down. What he said was you would be very disappointed with an MBA. It's theory versus truth. So that I'm going to write that down and actually make a piece of content for that later on.
YouTube channel to promote entrepreneurship in the UAE. So I want to inspire young people to start their own business, and I think it's very important that you can talk on my channel. So many people would like to hear about success in business, but my question is going to be a little bit different. I want to ask you about your biggest failure in life and how did it help you become a better person. Can you answer this question?
Sure. My biggest failures in life or in business?
In life in general. Do you consider business as the most important part of your life?
the biggest failures I've had in my life are the things that I didn't do. There's nothing on my record that I consider such a massive failure. Even Uber, that's minor.
Yeah.
I think the biggest failures I've had are the things and opportunities in business. I could have also, Shark Tank wanted me for years. I said no. Or investments, or partnerships, or maybe staying longer in my dad's business. Or there's a million things run through my head, but I'm almost incapable of answering that question because there is no true answer to that. I don't know. It's things that I haven't done.
Yeah.
Because I don't have any clear major failures. I've never got bankrupt. I've never hurt somebody. I don't have anything obvious.
Okay, got it.
Thanks, everybody. We are so grateful to have this opportunity to talk to you. Can you just please, if you need to book something, we're happy to do it for you.
You're welcome.
And the media who have been so patient, we have to be in the front. And that's the
How do you find that work-life balance? I mean, I'm still a student and I'm trying to start my own. Sorry.
No problem. Mainly by not judging it. I think work-life balance is a very laughable question. I'll tell you why. Just do whatever the hell you want to do.
One semester behind on my graduation.
So do that. To me, it's like work-life balance for who? So then do what you want to do.
I mean, I dwell so much in my work that I forget about my courses, I forget about people,
So that's good. That means you're happy. You're so young. People take photographs in a moment in time. You're delving into your work and not worried about your studies and people right now. But you have your whole life to live. You're talking about how long? 6 months, a year, 3 years? It's a small piece of your life. I never ever dwell about how much I put into something when I turn, because I'm turning because I want to.
Right.
It's not like somebody's forcing you to do that. You're doing it for yourself.
Right.
That's the balance. Whose balance? An article in a magazine? My video? Your balance is your balance. People overthink truths. Just live your life. Would you rather be delving into people in your studies over this business?
No.
Of course not, because you're acting on it. You're worried about something theoretical versus the reality of your life. That's the biggest problem with everything. Everybody's debating theoretics. Nobody here has the same life. I don't know anything about anybody. An MBA is theoretical. He's old enough when I looked at him to say, oh shit, he put that on a pedestal because when him and I were growing up, that was on a pedestal. He's long beyond that. 99% of people that take a Harvard MBA don't achieve the business you've already created. The fuck are you going to learn? You're creating an ideology and trying to conform to it when your actions are speaking to your happiness.
For Omar.
Omar?
Can I get a picture as well?
It's one of the classic books. So I didn't get it from here.
By the way, Gary, I've been to your office.
Whose is this?
Thanks, Mike.
You have?
Alex.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I met Andy just
Yeah,
so
I
love it.
They're also signing.
It's awesome.
Please.
Spell, spell.
It's
Also,
A-I-M.
your team in Arabic, they watch me in my...
I was just getting a picture.
That's awesome. Guys, give me a little room.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Guys, please. Entrepreneurs, future website, please give.
That's so awesome, bro. Send this to me. Send it to me so I can talk. You're welcome so much. Thank you so much.
Can I? We will have the book signing outside. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. What am I supposed to do?
Sign. Just wait. We also the same way from the Bedouin style.
I love it. Nice to see
Cowboy
you.
trading and everything.
That's amazing, man.
You
It's
gotta
a pleasure.
talk
I'd love to.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank
You're welcome.
Gary, thank you. Thank you for
You're
asking
welcome. What
questions.
up, everyone?
Also, love your shirt.
Thank you.
Last picture.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thanks so much. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome, brother.
Thanks. Gary.
Hi.
Hi.
I actually created an artwork with you and your mom who is the corpse. I don't know if you remember
I
it.
do. It's
And
such a
I just
pleasure to
wanted
meet you.
to say thank you because like after my father passed and I discovered your stuff, it's really taught me a lot. And I've actually got my artwork in the collections of DJ Black Coffee, Mason Plumley, Trevor Noah, Adrian Grenier, and Chris Fade, who you
It's
met.
amazing.
So I just want to give you a hug.
Congratulations. Thank you for that. Really, that was very sweet. Thank you.
Can I get a photo?
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We ended up bringing the press to you.
Okay. No worries. Hello, press. Okay. Yes, okay. Okay. Hello, everyone. Sorry we're starting a little late. Thanks for coming. Thank you for being here, press. Thank you. Hi.
You guys can feel free.
Yeah, of course.
My name is Jeremy. I'm a massive Bears fan. School principal here in the UAE.
Amazing. Good win last night.
Thank you. Very excited. 5:20 in the morning it started. Very excited.
Very rare.
At least pressing it. I'm a school principal. I have a podcast with. My question is, my school. I left the U.S. because the education system is terrible and it's focused on test taking and passing and all of this. Here it's a much better system, but our school is predicated on students finding their purpose and passion.
It's amazing.
That you really believe in.
Yes.
What does that look like for little kids, big kids, kids across different grade levels, and what do you think schools could do really practically to, especially without the level of regulation here that the United States has, to really help serve students thoroughly?
I think it's a really interesting question, especially after the last group of questions, where I think it's very contextual, right? Like, my answer to his question about, like, failures, when somebody watches that, that may not resonate with them. It may. I think schools, much like I think of most marketing, have the same game, which is scaling the unscalable. The dream of any education system is going one by one by one by one and understanding who they are and continuously, on an everyday basis, in perpetuity, putting them in a position to succeed. One of the great things about being a manager of people is I can create frameworks that adjust on the fly based on who they are today. When I think of myself as a CEO or a principal or a teacher, that's very nice that that worked for him yesterday or in September when the school season in the US starts. But in April, if he's a different man, often which they are, I have to be prepared to change that curriculum. I think the holy grail is literally the reverse opposite of what the American system is, which is the entire curriculum is for all of them. It's literally the reverse. And so I think the holy grail of education is individual education at scale. So I'm a big buyer of homeschooling. Obviously, you're then at the mercy of the parent or the teacher, but individual studies, I think, is the holy grail.
You think that could happen collaboratively?
I do. I think that you have to divide and conquer. I think you're looking at a lot more parents. I do think some people share DNA-ish, so I think there are opportunities, but yes, I do. I do think of a classroom of 30 with 6 or 7 teachers being able to pull that off. I think so. Yeah, thank you.
Can I try again?
Sure. Oh, are you going to ask? Who? Oh, how are we doing this? Go ahead. Yep.
Hello, good afternoon.
It's not. Got it.
I'm from Business Summaries magazine. Actually, I have a question. How do you see the future of business, digital media, digital marketing in the next 5-7 years? And when do you recommend traditional media move to survive in this market? And a second question, do you plan to expand any of your business in the Middle East region?
The second answer is very easy. The answer is yes. I have an eye to make VaynerX, my holding company, operate in every significant region. Obviously, you know, Northern Africa, Middle East is very much on my mind over, you know, especially when you think about the penetration of mobile and digital and just the youth in the area. So that's an easy answer. As far as the first question, look, I think the continuation of I don't think people understand how powerful the mobile device is. You know, life forever has been about the primary device, whether that's been the horse and buggy, whether that's been the railroad, whether that's been a book, whether that was the television. This is the primary device of our society. And so the digital expansion within it will continue, not decrease.
Okay,
and so the
so
way
you
I
see
think about
that
it is
clip?
whatever platforms are winning on the mobile.
That part just there where he said that this is the primary device of our society. I'm just going to bring it back just to 18 right here.
As far as the first question, look, I think the continuation of I don't think people understand how powerful the mobile device is. You know, life forever has been about the primary device, whether that's been the horse and buggy, whether that's been the railroad, whether that's been a book, whether that was the television. This is the primary device of our society.
So I have an image where he's holding up a phone. I'm going to add that text to it to say this is the primary device of our society. And I'm going to prepend it with the part where he said life has always been about the primary device, whether that was the horse and buggy or the television. Well, I'm going to put this part at the end just because it's more significant there. Okay, yes. And I'm going to put a note to self. So this. Okay. This is turning out to be much harder than I thought it would be. Limitations of my camera. So apparently my camera stops recording after 25 minutes thereabout automatically. Also, if the file size of the video gets larger than 4 gigabytes, the camera stops recording. So what I find myself having to do is to stop the video when the camera reaches its limit, and then to actually copy off the file and then put back the SD card into the camera, restart the video from where I left off, and then do that until I reach up to my 25 until I reach my 25-minute limit, then do it again for another 25 or so minutes so I can get my full hour in. So I guess I'll be doing this 3 times, but it is what it is. So second 20 minute.
And so the digital expansion within it will continue, not decrease. And so the way I think about it is whatever platforms are winning on the mobile device, whether that's YouTube or Spotify, whether that's Facebook or Instagram, and obviously as we know, it's different, right? Snapchat is non-existent in Germany. It's enormous in Saudi Arabia. In China, they have their own platforms. In Russia, they have their own platforms. You know, so there was a time when Orkut, Google's social network, was huge in Brazil and nowhere else in the world. That's all I care about. What is the biggest platform on the most important device? So when I think about 5 to 7 years, you know, I'm not sure, but I don't see any device taking over for the phone just yet. And until that happens, the 5 to 10 biggest apps on the phone in every region are the places where I would bet the farm. That's it.
Excuse me, my name is Omar. I'm an artist and entrepreneur. I started singing, since I graduated, but by myself. going, leaving home, coming like afternoon, it sounds like I'm still at work without telling anybody from my parents, because I know myself. I share that I resigned. I'm gonna work on my like passion, which is singing. Everyone's gonna block it and let me down. So this is what happened. I spent my 2 years working in my album, shooting my video clip until I signed with Universal Music Middle East, and I considered the first Emirati to sign with international record label. My album is available in every airlines, Emirates, Etihad, and this is like without having any mentors. When I listen to your speeches and advices, it's remind me how I think and how I believe in myself without listening to anybody. And finally, I made it in April. I met your team, and I was there, but unfortunately, I couldn't meet you there. But luckily, I'm here right now, meeting you, and hopefully, end of this month, I'm going to be in New York performing in the UAE consulate.
Good for you.
National Day. Hopefully, I'll visit you again.
Please. Very nice to see you.
You talk about Uber and how it was a failure in your part.
Yes.
And you said today that you have. You talk about Uber and how it was a bit of a failure.
Yes.
You look back on that, right? But if you had done it internationally, you would have got there faster.
Yes.
When is enough is enough? Like your ventures, striving. When you get to a point in your life where you're like, I've done it. I've achieved what I want.
That's where people get confused.
Tell me,
I don't play for the money.
What is it you're playing for then? Like,
The game itself.
So you'll just keep going. There's never
I will die working.
So there's never a point where you're just content.
Because I'm not looking for anything. I'm not looking for the money. I'm not looking for the awards. I'm not even looking for the accolades or the admiration, which I like quite a bit. I just don't know what else to, what would I do?
Yeah.
I love doing it. It was really funny. Today it was asked, what do I do in my downtime? And I realized this summer, where I had a little bit of downtime, I started selling baseball cards on the internet.
Yeah.
I love business.
But when you were little and
Yes.
you sold those, you think the flowers were
Yes.
famous.
Yes.
When you were little, did you think, oh my god, this is a good way of making money? Or did you think, I'm doing something wrong right now? Like that entrepreneurship spark was in you, right?
Yeah, it was in me. I didn't think, the 80s were running loose in America. Taking flowers out of the yard was minor league compared to what other kids were doing. So, yeah, that's exactly right. And that's what I was talking about on stage, which is, for that gentleman who just left, I think, it was singing. He needed to sing. When I look at Elton John or, the Rolling Stones, they've made more than enough money. They don't need to do one more tour. It's just, what else would they do? And I think, I like the way you asked the question, because with business, everybody focuses on the money. I'll be honest with you. You asked a very interesting question. If you ask me, I'm secretly very happy that I didn't invest in Uber.
Why?
Because having that level of money in the short term might have thrown off the game in some way. I enjoy the process. I notice in myself, I do a lot of things that curtail my wealth growth because I love the climb more than getting there.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Hi.
One last question.
Hi, Sian and Arabic.
Wrapping up.
I just have three short questions. Super short. Normally they ask, what should we do? What should an entrepreneur do? I want to ask you first of all, if I were to tell you, what should an entrepreneur not do? So do not, instead of...
There's a lot of things that come to mind. First, the thing that they should definitely not do is build a business predicated on what's hot right now. Too many people are trying to build a crypto business because they think there's money in crypto.
One last quick one, please.
Hi, my name is Devrhoid. I'm an entrepreneur, especially here with Buy on Demand and my TV channel. So a lot of motivational speakers often say you have to keep trying, and every time you feel failures around the corner, you have to just one more try, right? So I've been involved in many projects. Some have succeeded, some haven't. When is it that you kind of stop trying and stop, keep going?
Yeah, I'm a big believer that that there's an appropriate time to jump out. You know, it's even when you said motivational, I was like, that's why I often say I'm not a motivational speaker because I'm too practical. That's a tough question though. You know, the reality is there have been people who jumped off and shut up and shut down a month before their business was about to explode. And then there's people that go 4 years too long and it was the right time 4 years earlier. I don't like, there is no answer for when the right time because it's contextual. But it's important for people to realize both exist. You know, there's a time to shut it down and start something new, and there's a time to go one more time. That's a very personal thing.
Thank you so much. We're going to take the last question here.
I'm Aisha.
Hi.
I run a media startup just called Livewire. The first campaign that we ran was about quitting. Instead of saying I can do it, we said you should quit.
Yes.
So what is your opinion about quitting in the entrepreneurial system?
I think it's a good idea. I think it's a good idea. I think there's a lot of value. It's very similar to the gentleman's question. I think quitting is knowing when to get off matters. And I think it's I really appreciate both of you bringing up that theme because it's not being talked enough about and I love that you lean into that. And I think it's practical.
Because that's what we've been doing. Everybody is so persistent about, yes, you can do it.
I agree. Now, I think way too many people are over practical. I think way too many people lean into just numbers without intuition. Everything in life's a balance.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome.
We're breaking your Instagram window now. Take a picture, guys. Take a picture.
Thank you so much, everybody.
What's that?
She painted it?
Yes. Okay.
Everyone else,
Gary, Shooting Mitchwelly.
Hey, Shooting.
Nice to meet you. You know who's big on the internet in Dubai? You're talking to internet royalty.
Come on. How are you?
You're going to be meeting Winnison. She's
Yes, I know Winnison.
I'm a huge fan.
Thank you.
More so the fact that you're just real. And I love that. Because I hear more real here, which again, kind of, there's a lot of backlog, especially here in this region. And I admire you. I can't probably go to the extent as you.
Yes.
But I speak like that because I'm a motivational speaker and a coach. I speak like that in my sessions, but I can't do it on the internet because it's culturally sensitive. But I admire you. They asked me, did you think he's going to curse? I said, no, he's going to be too culturally sensitive to do so. So I really honestly respect mine. I'd love to ask you a question. I'm still starting, yes, I'm big, but I'm wanting to get to the million mark like what you did. What would you advise to go
You're ready. The more you think about, the more you think about it, the less likely it's going to happen.
Yeah. But like team-wise, I have an infrastructure. Like, tell me a little bit more about your team because I know they produce a lot of content.
So that I don't know if you saw that deck I put out, the Garyvee content model. You really have to delve into it. We put out our full truth. I do think it's about written word and audio and not just video and imagery. So I think it's producing across all mediums. Yeah. And then collaborations. I think doing things with other people that have audiences.
Yeah, I could have with Jay Shetty. I think when he was here.
That's very important.
Yeah.
And I think commenting. You're verified on Instagram?
Yeah.
I would comment on other people's content at scale. Right now, there's this moment where they're populating other verified people into the comment section. You should take advantage of that.
Yeah.
But not
and
just.
I love what you just said, for example, on stage, just to actually go into the stories and invest in that, which I'm going to be doing.
100%.
Yeah.
But it's a process. I was doing it for a decade before it started happening.
Yeah. Well, I think you've done a great job. I'd love to have a photo.
Sure.
Yes, please. If you could. Can I do a quick video for my followers?
Sure.
Maybe creating content. Alright. Ready? Mm-hmm. Alright guys, it's an absolute privilege to meet, of course, one of my mentors. It's the one and only Garyvee. Gary, everyone. We've got 60 seconds here. I want you to give us your ultimate best advice for the entrepreneurs and the people that are on social media.
Self-awareness is the religion. If you don't know who you are, you will lose. Number 2, you can't live by anybody else's rules. You have to get this is it right here, quiet. Get real quiet. Number 3, produce for them. So many of you want the followers, want the accolades, yet the few people that are engaging with you now, you disrespect by not replying to. So get into the trenches. And number 4, always try new things. Too many people get something that works.
that would probably be another good piece of content right there. That 43 seconds, sorry, where he's talking about the 5 or 6 pieces of advice that he would give to any aspiring entrepreneur. I think I'm going to use that also to make a piece of content for myself and for my followers.
And then they only do it. You've got to keep trying new stuff. Done. I love you. Well done. Thank you. How are you? Nice meeting you. Nice meeting you. Take care. I'll see you online.
So it's 0429. Just going to pause it to mark that. 0429. Okay, that's that.
Okay, I just need Gary's page winner.
Thank you.
Okay, Gary, these are your Arabic Garyvee page winners for your book. So you signed it for them today, so there's
Thank you. Photos?
Pictures.
Some photos.
One minute as well.
Yeah, okay.
Gary, I've been doing content for 2.5 years. I'm the Arabic version of Garyvee, but tweaking the content that fits our culture, and we have a lot of struggles the way we have. Yeah. The problem is it's not getting the attention, but I'm doing the thing that I love. But it's been like a long time, so I want to take the next 2.5 years. I want to take it to the next level now. The question is, do I get to do content that people like to see, and then try to fit mine in, or do I continue with what I love?
You could do both. I think you stay the course and do what you love.
And that's what I'm doing.
But if you want to try the things that you think they want to see, as long as it's not something you do not believe in, it's okay to experiment.
I'm expert, but doing what you love sometimes, or what you believe in, is not what people want to listen to. So how do you get the balance?
Look, I'm going to tell you what I did versus what I think. I just stayed the course. Nobody watched my stuff for 8 years.
Good. Can you get this quick video to my followers? Real quick. The one and only Garyvee, just one advice to my followers.
You have one life. Live it on your terms.
Perfect. Thanks.
You gotta take care.
How you doing, Mike? Darren, nice to
Yeah,
meet you.
it's such a pleasure. How are you? Yes.
I do have one question. I work on a whiskey brand.
Nice.
Doers. I'm pretty
I know it.
here. But I wanted to know, we do a lot of content with influencers. We do a lot of brand integration with influencers versus our own branded content.
I prefer both.
A lot of our markets say, you need to do branded content. We're not putting our brand in there. It's only a little bottle here in the corner.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
I think you got to make Doers the star, but that takes
yeah. All right, sorry.
That's right.
So I work on Doers, the whiskey brand, and we do a lot of integrated content with influencers versus our own branded content. What do you think is the right course?
Look, I love influencer content. I think Doers should probably do more, not less. However, I think it should only be 20% of your output, and 80% is to make Doers the celebrity. The brands that are going to win the next decade are going to be the ones that figure out how to make the product the celebrity, not siphoning off of somebody else's celebrity. And that takes work and creativity. It also takes a lot of content, not just one TVC or brand pillar, and making, everyone's in the no business instead of the yes business. So a lot more volume of content, I think, is at the forefront.
Cool, man.
You got it.
Thank you very
much. You got it. Take care.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. Oh. Yeah. Picture. You got it.
Go ahead. Can I come on this side?
Yes.
Right, so I'm going to hold it.
You got it.
Do this. So, my advice, guys, is
buy this book, Crushing It by Gary, because
You're
I
very
think he's
sweet.
awesome, he rocks. What are your tips, Gary, for people that have had a business like 6 to 12 months and is failing? What do you advise them?
You haven't even started.
Oh,
6 to
I
12
like
months.
her question.
6 to 12 months. I mean,
I
look,
really
it
like
depends
her
on.
question.
Oh, you want to do another one? Go ahead. Let's keep it going. Add that.
Yes, I'm not crushing it. Something like.
No problem. Let's keep it going.
Oh, it's not, but it matches. That's cool.
Sorry about that, guys. We cut off.
So, to me, if you're only 6 to 12 months in and you love it, then you keep going. Why are you building the business? Is it for the money? Then maybe another year. But is it your oxygen? Then it's for life.
It's from passion. So buy this
Life.
book, Crushing It. Follow Gary. He's awesome. Thank you.
There is a video of the book signing.
Okay.
2-second video. 2 seconds. Very.
I do have to release.
Thank you, brother. Thanks for your
I have a dare for you. If I do X, Y, Z at a certain amount of time, you give me a deadline. You get to hire me. What do you say?
How about I just hire you without you doing it?
Perfect. Let's do this.
Cool. Send me an email right now.
What's your email? What's your
It's
email?
Gary@VaynerMedia.com. And just in the title put, I was the kid that said XYZ. And then let's see, the biggest issue I have is just visa laws these days across the world. That's my biggest concern. We're about to hire so many fucking people, so I'm not worried about that part. I'm more worried about visas and things of that nature, so we'll have to talk that through. But other than that,
Someone got a picture before you?
sure.
Give me the 5 straps, Gary. Give me the 5 straps. Where is it?
I'm thinking
Right here, right here. Gary, right here.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Find a guy.
Just one last thing, Gary.
Yes.
I'm a self-taught graphic designer.
Just
I'm
hire
building my
somebody
brand
on
on
the spot.
Instagram. What other platforms do you recommend for me? I've been like since 1 year, like I've been building my brand.
I think LinkedIn is sneaky.
LinkedIn.
Super sneaky. Because nobody's doing it there.
Alright.
And are you looking for work?
Yeah.
LinkedIn.
Can I take a picture, Gary?
Gary, this way.
Quick photo.
It's my page.
Yes.
This lady.
Thank you.
Can I take a picture of you in front
Yes.
of you?
She did this painting.
Sorry. Awesome.
That's so beautiful.
Thank you so much for being here. It's a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you, brother.
يا حبيبي خلص وديك وسام. Just follow this guy, please. Follow this guy.
What should I do in an oversaturated market? There's only one way to win an oversaturated market. You have to be the best at that game. Right? I mean, that's what,
Love
social
that
media
answer.
influencers
That's
are
another
oversaturated. I'm
piece
just
of
better than everybody.
content.
Like, that's what it comes down to. What's that, brother?
Love that too.
There's only one way to win an oversaturated market. You have to be the best at that game.
There's only one way to win in an oversaturated market. You have to be the best in that game. And I'm going to stop this video because it is now at 21 minutes and I don't want to chance it. So we'll pick up back from 4 hours 36 minutes 3 seconds. Just want to see if this works. Past is 10 seconds. Okay, so we're continuing now from 4 minutes 36 seconds.
There's only one way to win an
36
oversaturated
minutes.
market. You have to be the best at that game. Right? I mean, that's what, social media influencers is oversaturated. I'm just better than everybody. Like, that's what it comes down to. What's that, brother?
How do you deal with loneliness of being an entrepreneur?
Because I love it. Because it's what I want to do. You know what I mean? Because life is about alternatives. What would I do otherwise? Work for somebody? You know what I mean? What you're actually dealing with is you can't worry about other people's judgment. That's when entrepreneurship gets tough. You're welcome, brother.
Alright.
Okay, what am I doing
You're
here?
on clockwork.
Okay.
You design books.
Okay. Tell people mine. No
And I'm
questions.
taking
This way
that as
anytime.
well. Can't worry about other people's judgment. That's when entrepreneurship gets tough.
course.
Hey guys, get your books ready. Keep the paper signing only. Signing only when your books ready. Thank you.
We got one.
Guys, you have to sign.
Thank you.
Guys, signing and leaving. Next. Signing and leaving.
Thank you. You're welcome. What's up, bro? Good to see you, man. How are you? Thank you. Thanks for coming, bro.
Yeah, no worries.
I hope you enjoyed today. Nice meeting you, man.
Thank you. Next.
This is my Valentine gift.
This is very sweet. Sign it here. Where do you want me to? Here?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, very much. Have a great day. What's that?
F-A-T-M-A. Thank you very much.
You're
Can I have a
welcome.
selfie, which is great. Everyone will kill me.
Okay, so I just transferred the other 20 minutes that was just recorded. This 20 minutes should put me at around 1 hour, and then I would have completed my hour for today. But I think I'm just going to go forward and just bring it up to the 1 hour 19 minutes. So it will mean I'll have to transfer the files once more and then start over, but that's fine because I'm kind of getting used to it now. So here we go with that's it. Let's go with the third 20-minute session. Oh, and after this I'm going to actually let you see the process of me creating the social media post. So you're going to see me taking the quotes that I had recorded earlier, or the ones I've taken down, and then using Canva, which is a free app for making the Instagram post and the Instagram story post.
Thank you very much.
Hello. How are you?
You always say that you are the 5 friends that you are. I kept my friends because they want something else, but I don't have any. So how do you get them?
You start finding them.
How?
You have to go to places where you want to be. Right?
Yeah.
Conference. Here, your friends are here.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You got to learn how to say hello. You understand?
I get it.
Hi. How are you? So nice.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. I hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you. Do you need the name or?
No, I can take it. What do you?
Lena.
L.
L-E-I, L-A.
If he wants to sign as many books as possible, so let's get in, get your book signed, and keep moving.
Take care.
He wants to sign every book, so we need to keep the line moving.
I want to sign every book.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have your books ready, you guys. Have your
Signing
books
and moving.
ready.
Signing and moving.
Go.
If they want to take a photo while I'm signing.
Okay, take a photo while he's signing.
Yalla, go.
Guys, if you want to take a photo, do it while he's signing. Okay?
Hi. How are you? So nice to meet you.
Super inspirational. Thank you so much.
Thank
I
you so
just
much.
turned 50. I saw your video. Thank you so much.
Keep doing it. How are you?
I'm your 10 my life.
Thank you, brother. I wish you well. So nice to meet you.
But picture while signing. Picture while signing.
How are you? Good. Thanks for coming. I need another pen.
Next.
Come on, I need another pen. Thank you.
Take pictures while he's
Hi.
signing. While he's signing, take a picture.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
So good.
Next book.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next book. Where's your book?
Gary. No pictures. Gary.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, brother. Take care.
Gary, I love you, man. I love you so much.
I love you back, bro.
Thank you so much.
How are you?
You're a big inspiration, man.
Thank you, brother.
Should be patient and perseverance.
Thank you. Hi. How are you?
You guys.
Good.
I've been trying to reach you on email.
I'm trying. It's so hard. I will. Thank you.
Golden.
Thank you, brother. It was nice meeting you.
Yeah, same here.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thanks for coming.
Excuse me.
Hi, it's okay. How are you? Good, thanks for coming.
Thank you for coming and thank you for inspiring us always.
Thank you. What's up, brother? How are you?
Yeah, I was on there.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, brother. Take care. What's up, bro? How are you? Good to see you.
Happy day.
Can I steal that marker? Can I steal it? Thanks. Thank you. How are you?
Good, how are you? Can I take this off?
You sure can. Thanks, brother. Hey, bro. How are you? Good to see you. What's going on?
Been waiting on you. Just right, Kuwait.
Kuwait?
Kuwait. Hey. Okay.
How are you?
How are you?
Such a pleasure.
Second honor.
Such a pleasure.
Can you write UAE?
Who?
UAE. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Any picture, please?
Yep. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Of course. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother.
For the Shirati.
How are you, bro?
Shirati. The book is for Shirati. Take a picture. Go Jets.
Go Jets is right. Hey, man. How are you?
Came from Saudi Arabia just to meet you.
Thank you very much.
If you have a couple of minutes, I just want to ask you.
I will try to grab me, okay?
Thank you. Okay, Max.
I don't know. I'll try. Just watch where I go.
Alright.
How are you? Good to see you, man. Really good, man.
Thanks a lot, man.
Of course. Thank you, man.
I drove 5 hours just to be here.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Take it. I hope so, brother. Take care. Hi.
Super mega fun. I like awesome, really. You know, me and my kids, we always sit here in the car.
Thank you.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. That's a video.
I don't think so.
Thanks, man.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Harry.
Brother, how are you?
Just want to say thank you for all the great content.
Thank you, brother. I really appreciate that.
Got an exclusive.
Awesome. Thank you, brother.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Can you sign something for my restaurant?
Of course.
We're taking this global. Watch out for us.
I hope
we,
so, brother.
we want you. We have a stand outside. I know you're particular about your food, but we'd love to have you.
I appreciate it, brother. Thank you.
Gary?
Yes.
Gary, hi. I'm a
Hi.
12-year-old. Her name is Janine.
Janine.
She wants to be an entrepreneur. What is your advice to kids everywhere about becoming an entrepreneur?
Janine, don't listen to anybody.
Not even your parents.
Max.
Thank you.
Hello, Gary.
How are you?
Thank you so much. You've been a motivational force. Thank you so much.
You're welcome so much. Have a great day. Let her get it in. Awesome.
How are you?
Good, brother. How are you?
Yeah, perfect.
Good, man. Nice to meet you. I wish you well. Real quick. Hey, guys. Maha. Maha.
How's it going, Gary?
You really have to tell them to have their camera on flip, because then everyone can get it, but otherwise we can't. Alright, good to see you, bro.
Hey, man. I'm doing ecom. If you need anything, we can help you out.
Thank you, brother. Send me an email and say you're the guy who brought up the ecom in the email in the book signing.
Okay, no problem.
Gary at VaynerMedia. I'm great, thank you.
To the future interview in Islam. Future interview Islam.
What's that part?
Yes.
Yes.
L-A-M. Thank you.
You're welcome. Take care.
This is the difficult part of PBD just went live.
Hello. How are you? Very good. How are you?
Very excited you're here.
Thank you.
This wasn't just a good year, we've had a great year.
But
This for us has been,
excuse me.
I can't say it's a good year, it's been a great
Photo?
year.
I want to see something.
Like milestones, this made it 15 quarters.
Stick out there and I'll grab you.
Where in the firm I run, we wrote more insurance policies in a quarter than the prior quarter. 15
Tell her to
quarters.
stay there.
Our investors are wrong.
Tell her to stay there. Be right.
They're telling us that we're the best. None of their investments, and this is a multi-billion-dollar fund.
Stay.
None of
Stick
their
around.
funds
I want to hear what you have to say.
have
Let me just get through this.
returns that we've gotten them. It's just been a very, very
Thank you, brother.
good year.
How are you? What's my what?
Your first video yesterday was great. Really
thank you, brother. What up, dude? Thank you, man. Thank you.
Flip it. Flip your phone.
Thank you very much, Gary. Thank you, brother.
One second.
Can you put for Luisa?
What's that, brother?
For Luisa.
Follow. Spell it.
Luisea. Thanks, man.
You got it, brother. Take care. Hi. How are you? Thank you for coming. Take care. What's up, dude? Appreciate it, brother. Thank you. Hey, brother. How are you?
Good.
Take care, brother. Hey, bro.
Hi, how are you?
Very good. Flip. Nobody flips. Thank you. Take care. Hi. How are you?
I just want to tell you I'm so honored to see you. I saw you 2 years ago. You changed my life.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Hi. How are you? Good. How are you? Thank you for coming. Thank you very much.
Hey, when are you going to flip here in Georgia?
What's up, brother?
When are you going to flip here in
I would
Georgia?
love to do that. So nice to meet you. Take care. Thank you, brother. Nice to meet you. Thank you. How are you? Thank you, brother. Thank you so much. Have a great day. You got it.
What do you want? Let it finish. Next. Okay, next.
Take care.
Yeah, we recommend. You already adjusted very well here.
Thank you. Thank you, brother. How are you? Nice to meet you.
Okay. No questions. I couldn't take with your phone from this video.
Clearly. Hey, man. Nice to meet you. Thank you for coming.
It's for Kyron, UX designer. K-I-R-A-N.
K-I-R?
You can play very short improv game. It's 10 seconds.
What's that?
An improv game, very short. It's one word at a time. I'll tell a story nobody heard before.
Go ahead.
Okay, once
Upon a time
we
went
to
the
door.
You got Tom from Ukraine as well.
Nice to meet you.
I relate to Alex.
Alex. Thank you, brother. Yeah, for sure. Real pleasure.
Gary,
Hey, brother.
I've been following you since 1 year.
That's 1 year too long, D-Rock. I agree with you.
Thank you, Gary.
You're welcome, brother. How are you?
A-I-S-H-A.
A-I-S-H-A. Thank you, brother. Take care.
Gary,
So nice to meet you.
Can you take a real quick?
Real fast. Alright. Hi. How are you? Nice to meet you. Thanks for coming.
Thanks. Thank you.
Take care. Hey, how are you? Nice to meet you. Thanks for coming.
Okay, great.
Thank you for coming. Take care.
I get the feeling this 20 minutes is just going to be Garyvee signing books.
Take care. Hi. How are you?
Belated birthday.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. I hope you enjoyed.
Yeah, very much. Thank you.
I got to work with them.
Thank you.
I don't know.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. Take care. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
So well.
Excuse me.
Thank you so
Take
much.
care.
Can you please tell me anything is possible,
course it's possible.
Can I get a hug from you?
Of course.
Please. Please, thank you.
Of course.
God bless you.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Be rich now.
Gary.
How are you?
Oh!
How are you, bro?
Can't believe you're here.
I am here. Boom.
Thank you so much for everything. I've been watching you for I don't know how many years.
I
just
appreciate it.
love everything.
Thank you, brother.
D-Rock. Gary,
how are you?
I can't believe you came. You saved me so much money. I was traveling for 6 years to meet you. I love your energy. Thank you so much for
Keep doing it.
I really
Thank you,
appreciate
brother. Thank you so much. Hi. How are you? Nice to meet you. Thanks for coming. I hope you enjoyed. Hey, brother. You're welcome, brother. How are you?
Great.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. How are you? Good to see you, bro. Yeah, real fast. How are you? Good to see you. How are things? Thank you, brother. Take care, man. Thank you so much.
Cheers, Gary.
Cheers.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you. What up, everyone?
Cheers. Thank you.
Thanks for coming. Take care. You got it. Take care, brother. Stay well.
Thank you so much. Big fan of you.
Thank you, brother.
I'm the biggest fan.
Thank you.
Everyone says that.
It feels nice every time.
Nice.
Cheers. Hey, brother, how are you?
I'm good. I want to speak with you. How do I get in touch with the company portfolio?
With which one?
Your company portfolio, the one in the marketing.
It's Gary at VaynerMedia. It's in there. My email. Thank you, brother. Cheers. Hi. How are you? Thank you for coming. Take care. What's up, bro? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
So good. Thanks for coming. I hope you enjoy. Hi.
Hi.
How are you? Thank you. Hi. How are you? Good. Thank you so much for coming. Hi. How are you? So good.
Do you have to let go of your humanity to be successful?
Absolutely not.
Because I see lots of successful
No way.
people have no relation, they destroy everything.
Because their success exposed them. It didn't change them. How are you? Thanks for coming.
Thank you for coming also.
Thank you.
Really.
I really enjoyed this trip. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Hey, Gary.
Hi. How are you?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I've been following you since 2014.
That means a lot to me, brother. Thank
I'm
you
a
so much.
filmmaker, and I love your...
Yeah, let's do it. Real fast. Real fast.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Fast.
Appreciate it.
You got it, brother. Hello. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Two more questions?
Thank you so much for everything.
You're welcome so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. How are you? Good, very good. Thanks for coming. Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for being here.
Of course, take care.
Hey.
Hey, how are you? Nice to see you. Thank you for coming. Hey, brother, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Good, man. Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much. It's very tough.
Thank you, brother. You enjoyed it?
Yeah. Hi.
Hey.
Ivan, nice to meet you.
Ivan, nice to meet you. How are
We
you?
do what you preach.
That's good.
Volumes of content, 57 pieces of content from only one event of 3 hours.
That's
for
exactly.
Microsoft.
That's exactly right.
If you have
I'll take a look.
Thank you.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Very good.
That sounds about the part about the VCs. That
Yes.
sounds reassuring.
Yes, good. Good luck. Take care. Hi.
Get a selfie with you, it looks like.
Let's do it. Go ahead, stick it in. while I'm doing it. Boom. Boom.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Hi. How are you?
Your message was fabulous.
You enjoyed it?
So happy you spoke about awareness. Nobody ever talks about
Ever.
that stuff.
Ever. Take a quick photo.
Let's do it.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I was the one that was screaming, I love you.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for coming. Take care.
Ashley was good work. Your videos are quite funny.
Thank you so much. Hi. How are you?
I'm very good. I wrote a pen.
You want me to use this pen?
It's okay if I take a photo.
Yeah.
I'm actually friends with Claude, so I love it.
Thank you. You want this pen? Hi.
Hi, Gary.
How are you? Such a pleasure. How are things?
It's great.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming.
Amazing.
Nice to meet you. Hi. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Hey
Hi, bro. How are you?
I respect you a lot. You changed my life.
Thank you, brother. I wish you well. How are you? Thank you, brother. Cheers. Hi. How are you?
I'm good. I just want to say thank you. Help me a lot with yours.
Of course.
Hi, Gary.
How are you?
Big fan.
Thank you, brother. Thank you so much. Hope you have a great day. What up? How are you? Very good, brother. Good. Dude, with the shirt.
I just need to tell you, I don't have a book. 2 months ago I told my friend that I will bring Garyvee to Dubai. And you came. In 2 years, maximum, I'll reach out to you and you will be
I can't wait.
the first.
Use the shirt in the line. Hi.
My dream come true. My name is Nada.
Nada. How are you? How do you spell it?
Nada.
Thank you. Thank you, David. Take care.
Thanks.
Take care, buddy.
Hi.
Hi.
Salman, all the way from Saudi.
It's a real pleasure. Thank you.
I have a quick question. Social media is new to me. And I'm afraid if I do something wrong, I'll get bad image. I should just do it.
100%. It's not how life works. There's nobody you can point to that was ruined by a social media post. As long as your intent is good, you can never lose by a mistake.
Great speech.
Thank you.
Thanks for the tip on the Easter eggs.
Yes, please do that.
Yeah, I'll do that now.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Hi.
Gary.
So good to see you.
I'm joking you, by the way.
No, I so loved meeting you this morning.
Oh my God, what's going on here?
It was great to see you this morning.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I hope you enjoyed today's
I
talk.
did, brilliant.
Thank you. How are you?
So much, love you so much.
Thank you, brother. Thank you so much.
I want to do a small video with you. Is that possible?
Very fast. They're going to kick you out.
Okay.
Fast.
Alright, last 20 minutes for it. The last video got cut off at exactly 4 hours 59 seconds and 4 hours 59 minutes and 40 seconds. So I'm going to watch this other 20 minutes and then that'll be it, and I'll pick up tomorrow with the last 2 hours and see if I can complete it. Have to say that I've gotten quite a lot out of it thus far, and I'm looking forward to sharing some of the insights with you guys. And if you're wondering what's that in the background, that's Lil Kid. Garyvee just posted a video of him, so I started checking his stuff out. Interesting guy. So gonna be watching his journey as well. Should be interesting. I'm stopping Little Kid now.
I basically want to understand from you what is the importance of the pause. Because I do videos on my page, and I want to understand from you what is the significance of the pause.
The pause?
The pause, yes.
In what sense? Like pausing in life?
Yes, in pausing in life. When you're constantly doing stuff.
It means that you need it. Like, I don't pause often because I don't need it as much. It's usually an indicator of where you actually are. It's important to pause.
Thank you, buddy. Next.
How are you, brother? No worries. Thank you, brother. Nice to meet you. Take care, my friend. Hey, bro, how are you? Я говорю по-русски.
Супер.
Я все понимаю. Тяжело говорить, you know? Спасибо большое.
Thank you for everything, my man.
Was he speaking Belarus or Russian?
We got it already.
I think he was speaking Russian.
Okay, alright.
How are you?
At Complex Zone 2 years ago.
So awesome.
Signed this right here.
You got it, brother.
Zero.
Thank you, bro.
That's great stuff.
How we doing? That's okay. I'm glad we said hello. Thank you. Awesome. Take care. Thank you. Cheers.
Yeah, I didn't get a picture last time. That's why I'm back. This man for the camera. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1.
Got it. See you, bro. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Hi.
My sister, she missed coming to see you. She loves you so much.
Well, tell her I said hello. What's her name?
Anan, A-N-A-N. She's been like listening to you since 2016.
Tell her I said what's up. Good to see you, brother. Really good. Yes, it's good to see you. Really good. Very much. Very much. Thanks for saying what's up. It's great to see you, man.
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you, man. Thank you. Hi, how are you?
Good.
Good to see you.
Thank you for getting me started.
Of course. Awesome. Thank you, brother.
1, 2, 5.
Awesome.
Hey, Gary. I was one of the 40-year-olds you look
I saw you. You were on the left over there. I saw your face.
Question for you. You started in the NBA team. Who's your first draft? Jordan, Bird, Magic, or LeBron?
LeBron.
Really?
100%. I hate Jordan with all my heart.
Wow.
Hate him. Knicks fan.
I'm excited. Oh, I'm
Take
so
care.
happy.
Hi. How are you? Such a pleasure. Hi. Hi. How are you?
Give me advice in 5 seconds. Get left with me.
You live once.
One more.
That's all you need to know.
For me. One for her as well.
You got it.
Write it. You live once. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You're welcome very much.
Thanks for answering my question, man.
My pleasure, brother. Congrats on doing it out here, man. It's awesome.
Appreciate it.
And congrats on the nice fair season.
Good. Got it.
Mitch, right here, brother.
Hi, Gary. You already signed it, but I want to talk to you about Vietnamese. Can I talk to you later?
Yes, that might be tough. They're going to drag me out, but you can email me to Gary at VaynerMedia about anything about VaynerMedia. I don't want to bullshit you. I don't know. Yes.
First, I want a signature here. You already signed it. And this is a note for me to find me.
Okay. I'm going to put it in my wallet. I know you've emailed. I remember. I'm putting it in my wallet. That's my best chance. You got it, brother. Thank you. Where's that young lady?
I'm
Okay.
right behind you.
Awesome. You got it, brother. You did. I don't think I did that. You done?
Thank you. Yeah.
Where's that young lady? Let's go. Where is she?
Yeah,
Yep. And then her, right?
Yes, here.
All right.
sorry. Oh, it's sorry.
Seriously,
There's,
I'm sorry.
there's a certain place.
Just say
Just make honey badge.
Here. Who's doing the
I
fire?
did it.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome. Okay, ready?
Yeah, okay. At last, finally.
Yes.
Okay, so the
Question
do
number
nots.
2.
No, we'll start with 1 because you cut me
Respect.
off. Okay, so
The do nots.
Yeah, do nots. Give me 3, not 5.
Okay, number 1, I think people are chasing the current trend. Do not start a cryptocurrency company because you think that that's where the money is. Number 2, do not do it for the money. That is always a losing proposition. Number 3, do not go in naive. This is a marathon, not a sprint. 4 people build $1 billion company in 4 days. 99% fail.
Second question. If I were to tell you, please redefine the term entrepreneur in your own words, what would it be?
Oh, that's a really good question. Somebody who builds businesses because they can't breathe in anything else.
Okay. And one piece of advice for entrepreneurs, it could be in quotes.
My one thing is fall in love with your game, like the process. Like, for me, entrepreneurship is an art. It's like singing or dancing or being a sportsman. It doesn't happen overnight. It's so hard. It's so lonely that if you don't do it because you love it, you will almost always fail. That's why most people fail. They think it's about money. It's not.
Perfect, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Gary, can you just
Yes.
stay there? Just stay right there. Well, I'll bring people to you just because it's
In my wallet.
Ashley.
Sorry, I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, I'm kind of overwhelmed. Okay, I have so much to say. I also don't know where to start from. First, I want to say thank you. Thank you so much for all the content you put out. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you for being an adult with your personality. We don't understand how much people need that, especially in this region.
Yes.
I don't think the way we're raised in this region, authenticity, purpose, meaning are concepts we're familiar with.
I agree.
See someone who has traditional success and who is happy and who lives with purpose and who lives with meaning. Speak his heart out and be yourself unapologetically, and just gives us all permission to be ourselves too. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I mean, I'm so overwhelmed I can't even look at you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for saying that. It means a lot to me. Thank you. Thanks for waiting to tell me that.
No, you always wear patience to remind me to always be patient. Things will be okay.
Just starting.
Thank you.
I like that idea for wearing the patience charm.
One last interview with Entrepreneur Magazine video, and then we're leaving.
Okay.
Okay, so Evan himself just went live, so I'm going to have to pause this just to tune into the live, and then I'll come back for the other few minutes.
Okay, so first question is...
Soup is here. Okay, great. Nina loves soup, so Nina's with me. She's here. She's eating. She's eating her. What are you eating? Cantaloupe. We went pretty keto today. We're testing out a new diet. Nina struggled on it. I crushed it though. But you can't have buns. So it's just burgers and broccoli. And lunch was, we have eggs and avocado. Yeah, eggs and avocado. That was amazing. And then breakfast was just coffee with 2 cream. It was supposed to go high fat. Anyway, I'm still under my calories for the day. So anyway, that was my Sunday. What's up with you guys? Give me questions. What do we got? I want to.
Have you finished Garyvee's video?
No, that's ridiculous. But I did get a good chunk done today.
Did you finish the Garyvee thing?
Yeah. I got a good chunk in today, like 40-something minutes, which I think is my longest stretch of all so far. Maybe 50 minutes. I'm going to do a tweet later on tonight. I'm doing a 7-hour Garyvee video challenge, and every night I tweet him a video message so I'll do it. So that's coming out after this. Live stream first, then Garyvee tweet, then take the dogs whatever your New Year's goal is right now, do it right now. Right now. Start now. Get going. Build it. Momentum immediately. Do it now. Just do it now. Momentum. Stop training yourself that you need to wait for something to happen, that you need to wait for Monday, you need to wait for January 1st, you need to wait for the next month. Like, you don't. That is a losing mentality. No New Year's resolutions. No New Year's goals. Immediate. Happy New Year. December 29th? What is today? Did I say it? 30th? Holy cow, it's happening quickly. Yeah, start now. It's the greatest thing you can do for yourself is right now. Get started on whatever your goal was. Don't wait till January 1st. You will not hit your goal if you wait till January 1st. Stop that losing mentality.
Siren asked, talk about your weekly system for success.
What was the were you digesting what I said?
Because everyone's asking you what your New Year's goal and every day's over.
But Nina, I can ask the same questions. I can ask the same variation of the same 25 questions forever.
Yeah. Can you talk about your weekly?
That's all I do. I love it though, because it's different people each time, and also it's the more you hear it, like maybe tonight's the night that it actually sinks in.
Because I need to move.
Oh, okay. I'm being kicked off. I get a new armrest. Maybe this is the night that it actually hits somebody.
So I might end up spending, I don't know, 15 minutes thereabout with Evan, and then I'm going to get back to that.
I do different things on different days. I have a morning routine. I think you need to have a morning routine that sets you up for success. You got to do the thing in the morning that gets you feeling fired up, confident, bold, wherever that is. You have felt bold and confident in the past. It's just not consistent. That's the problem. So whatever gets you feeling fired up, whether it's watching a video, listening to music, meditating, going for a walk, gratitude, watching, reading a book, whatever the thing is that gets you feeling bold and confident, then making sure you put that into your morning routine so you stop waking up like an accident. And then I do different things on different days to help keep me in the zone. So I'm very productive during that day, and then I also miss it. So a quick example, Tuesday's my YouTube day. It's when I film all my videos for YouTube. I'll do 20-something videos on one day, and at the end of that day, it's like, oh, that's done. But then I start to miss it come Thursday, Friday. Today's Sunday, like, I'm pumped to do YouTube stuff. So I like having things squished into one day a week. So I'm highly productive, but then I also miss it until it comes again next week. So every day of the week is something different, and it repeats. So every Monday, something, every Tuesday, something. And I find that really works for me. How to be consistent starts with having goals that mean something to you. You can only force yourself to do something for so long before you give up, because you hate it. Like, if you absolutely hate doing the thing, it's really hard to wake up and be consistent on it. I think that's what most people are doing. Most people wake up and drop the job that they hate, or they're doing something just trying to make money, or they're doing something they don't fundamentally believe in. And so it's hard. You will quit. Even looked at the first question about New Year's resolutions. How many times have I answered that? Yeah, but how many times? Yeah, but okay, but how many times? It is frustrating. What? Not 100 times. How many times? No, I've answered it like 5 times. 5 times. How many times? Okay, more than 5 times. How many? 10. 10 times. I've answered that question 10 times in the past 2 weeks, maybe. Is that fair? 10 times in 2 weeks. Nina is already pissed off at the question. Nina is pissed off at the question, doesn't want anyone to ask New Year's resolution questions anymore. But me, like, it's no problem. Ask it forever. I'll answer that question forever and ever, because I love helping entrepreneurs. I will answer the same question ad infinitum forever, because hopefully it sticks with somebody every time I answer it. And that stuff doesn't drive me nuts. It drives Nina nuts.
You should make a video about this.
About what?
Don't set a goal for next year.
I've made lots of videos about this. Just because somebody watches one video once, it doesn't mean that the message sticks. Otherwise, all the problems would be solved. It's like you need a daily daily. People need to believe daily. Most people's lives suck, like their environment sucks. And to be around someone that's optimistic and positive and chasing out their goals and not making excuses, I think is important. And so this is a great example. Like that question is bugging Nina already after 2 weeks, and I'll answer it forever. Why are you laughing? But that's fine. It's not judging. It's not that like Nina's wrong and I'm right. There's a lot of stuff that Nina has tons of patience for that like would drive me nuts. One time, right? But that's the thing. That's why you're not consistent. Because you're like Nina on these things. Because you don't actually love that thing. And so to get up every day and do the things you don't love is really, really hard. So it's one of two things. For most people, it's that they don't love the thing and you're doing the wrong thing. And so you got to find the thing that you can be great at and go all in on that thing and not waste time doing something else. So that's the first one, and that's most people. The second one, though, is fear. You're just afraid. You're afraid of failing. You're afraid of losing. You're afraid of letting people down. You're afraid of disappointing others. You're afraid. You're afraid of this big thing of yours, so you procrastinate. And so you're not consistent because you're afraid of what that success or failure will look like. And so you stay where you are. Either way, the solution is action. Right? You need to act your way through it. Either you face the fear and jump into it and deal with it, and then you're able to handle the next fear ahead of you, or you actually don't like the thing that you're doing and you need to move on and find something else, replace it with something that you enjoy doing. But action is the way, not staying where you are worrying about procrastination and not being consistent. I think it comes down to when you're looking at being a CEO versus just a solo entrepreneur. And CEO, I tend to think of like giant companies, so I don't know how big you're getting. I worry about thinking too far ahead. It's great to plan for when you're this giant company and you got 500 employees, but think about where you're at right now. Like, do you even have an employee? Do you have 10 employees? Do you have 15 employees? Like, you have 20? Don't worry about... This is why I have a conversation with Alex all the time. Don't worry about what you need to be in 5 years. Worry about like where you are right now. You've got enough problems to deal with right now. Don't worry about how you're going to be a great CEO when you may not even be able to manage yourself properly yet. Or you may not be able to manage like the first person on your team properly yet. Worry about that then. Worry about the problems you got in front of you right now. Right now, because that's what you got to deal with. That being said, I think if you're looking at leadership, you have to want people on your team to win more than you want them to win with you. At least that's my philosophy on CEOship, leadership. I want the people around me to win more than I want them to win with me. And so as a result, it means people need to leave me. Like, I'll push people away. So like, you need to go off and do this now. Like, you're ready. You need to leave me because what I can give you is limited compared to what you should be off doing. And that ends up earning tons of respect. And you get people's heart and soul, not just their brains. Where if the people on the team feel like you're holding them back, you're limiting them, you're jealous of them, you don't want them to start their own business, you want them to leave you, then it's a losing game. Like, you'll get their brains because you're paying them, but you never have their heart and soul because they know that you don't love them and you don't have their best interests at heart. You're thinking yourself first versus them first, and then you lose. So I think you need to want to have people win more than they win with you, but also just by how that question was asked, I really encourage you to focus on just what's in front of you right now. You know, if you don't even have a team, like, don't worry about that question yet. Manage yourself first. Or if you have 5 people on your team, don't worry about being a great CEO yet. Like, you're still the direct contact with everybody on your team. You're not working through layers of management. You know, I've got 24 people on my team, and almost everybody's still a direct report to me. Who's not a direct report? I don't know, 2 or 3 people who aren't direct reports. Like, everybody's still mostly direct reports to me. It's just a different set of problems than when you have a middle layer of management in between you and where your team is at. So worry about the problem you've got right now. Don't worry about who you have to be in 5 years. Worry about what's in front of you right now. Solve that problem. And then you get the strength to go to the next step. And then you have new problems. And then the next step, you have new problems. And it's great, because that's what we do. We're problem solvers. That's what entrepreneurs are. You're ready. Let's go.
Loved that answer.
You go off to the next goal. That's why I don't like goals. I want to swim forever. I think goals are helpful, but not to be a slave to them. Like, you have to enjoy the process more than the goal. If you're only doing something for the goal, you'll never get to that goal. But if you enjoy the process, you'll do it forever. And the goals are just milestones along the way. So I was having a conversation with an entrepreneur. It's like, I feel like I'm swimming, and like I'm drowning. Like, when do I get to the island? When do I finish? Like, you don't. Your goal isn't to get to the island. Your goal is to swim forever. Your goal should be to swim forever. And it's not about the number of anything. It's just for me to get my mission out there. I need to get bigger. I need to be a household name. I need to.
Okay, so I'm ready for the last, say, 15 minutes of this session. Evan is in the background. He's live. That's what I was watching earlier. It's a pity that the time had passed, because he was actually talking about Bessie earlier. But that's fine. I'll record it and keep it, and I'm happy that he remembers us and he appreciates what we're doing. It means a lot. He's actually going to get to see this, because I'm actually going to upload it. But I'm going to now get to the last 12 minutes of this to bring me to the 5 hour and 19 minute mark. So, bye Evan. I'll talk to you soon.
Find the smallest, simplest, easiest way to start, and then just start. And trust in your ability to figure things out as you go. Carlos?
From New York.
Oh, great, Carlos. Awesome.
He said, who's coming to Evan's tour?
I love it. Carlos is coming to my tour. Carlos lives in New York, but he bought the ticket, I think, for Cleveland.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so thank you, Carlos. Carlos is a hustler. Carlos hopped the bus 13 hours from New York overnight to Toronto to be on my morning show, and then that afternoon, another 13-hour bus back to New York just to interview. Like, guys, you're gonna have to put your goals ahead of your convenience to get to where you want to go. Like, what you're doing has to be more important than
I'm taking that. You're going to have to put your goals ahead of your convenience in order to get to where you want to go. I'm going to write that here. Benefits of having two phones.
You gotta put ahead of your convenience. You took the day off work, 26 hours on the bus, and made it happen. Like, this is somebody who's gonna win. Like, that's what I love. That hustle, that drive, that mentality. Like, if you wait for the thing to come to you, whether it's actually coming to your city, for other people who talk about the tour, like, come to my city. I may never come to your city. If it's important, then you go out. Like, build that as your identity. I'm the kind of person who chases down my goals. And I will go to any city to make sure that it happens. You gotta put your goals ahead of your convenience.
So people are asking, okay, we don't have tour in Toronto, but Evan has a May workshop happening next year.
So we got some locals asking. So yeah, I mean, I'm based in Toronto. I love Toronto entrepreneurs. I have a morning show, which I may continue again when I'm back from my tour. So there's a possibility of coming on that in the morning. That was a ton of fun to do. I'll probably do it, but I don't know where I'm going to be. In my mindset, my mentality, I may be off doing something totally different by the end of April. I'm done the tour. I initially wanted to do a Toronto stop initially, but I have my son Hayden until the 11th, and so I didn't want to take a day away from spending time with him. So we're just leaving on the 11th.
how do you deal with self-deception in business, self-doubt in your business?
Pretty easily. You know, when you're an entrepreneur, that's part of the process. It's a very lonely game. It's all on you. To me, I deal with it the same way I deal with raining or snowing. It's part of the process. And so for me, I deal with it by recognizing that life's about choices, and would I rather be working for somebody or dealing with the stress of self-doubt? I always choose number two.
Okay. Next question. Any advice for dealing with super fast-paced growth as an entrepreneur or startup?
Many things. Number one, first of all, don't get too high on your success. Too many people have short-term success and they think they're special. Number two, be patient. Number three, be practical. Way too many entrepreneurs, when they have hyper-growth, raise too much capital, which undermines the long-term success of their business. I think short-term success is a very difficult thing to navigate through. Those are three ridiculously difficult things that people have to deal with, and there's about another 100 others. Treat your people right, look for continuity, don't overhire people with past experience. There's a million things that come to mind.
And finally, what advice do you think you want to take away for yourself for the next year? And is that something you'd also pass on?
No, that's a great question. I'm continuously trying to be better at radical candor. The thing that comes least natural to me is telling somebody they're not doing a good job because I'm so optimistic and I try to fix it. I put a lot on my shoulders, so more radical candor for the people that work for me.
Brilliant, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, wait a second. Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay, stay there. Stay there.
I'm coming, don't worry, I got you, baby. Real quick, real quick, real quick. Let's go, real quick. Alright, let's go.
Gary, wait,
real quick, hold on. Her first.
1 hour, I've been waiting for 1 hour.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Just a picture here.
What's up, brother?
Okay. Not enjoy the achievements.
Because most people are, 99% of people only want the achievements. They don't even have a conversation of eating shit. Nobody's telling people to eat shit.
Okay, stop.
And eating shit is 99% of the fucking game. That's why I tell people to eat shit. You understand? Alright, where am I going? Yes. Yep.
One of the largest podcasting companies in the Middle East.
It's nice to meet you.
He's learned about voice and practiced his voice, and he's just like big. So I wanted you guys to
Awesome.
connect.
It's a real pleasure, brother. Real nice to meet you.
Last two. Yeah. Alright. Hey, fine. Last two.
Like,
How are you? I don't know. I just want to say hello.
Big pass.
Keep doing it, man. You're on the right. That is the platform of the next generation. It's black and white.
Yeah.
As we get busier, audio is like disproportionately down.
Just keep going.
100,000%.
Big pass.
It's great to see you, man.
One question.
Yes.
Is passion a talent?
That's a great question. I don't think so, but I do think it comes more natural to some people. So actually, if I thought about it, probably.
I host Saudi's first FM hip hop radio show.
That's
You're
awesome.
a huge inspiration.
Thank you, brother.
Got two rappers who've been trying to reach you. Can we take a picture?
Sure.
Real quick.
Majid.
Majid left. Okay. Let's go. I really appreciate you. Gary. Thank you, Rap.
Let's go. Fast.
You're welcome, Big Pass. Take care. Good to see you.
My God, look at right. Thanks, man.
Awesome.
We're going out. Gary, careful, there's a step. Step, careful.
Fantastic.
You're so lucky, Gary. Just Gary, one word.
Patience.
Hello. Okay, guys. You have to have that.
Guys, we're ready to work. We are.
We're ready to work.
It's going to happen.
Are we ready to work then?
It's coming. It's coming. Let's go.
We're gonna buy the shirt, man. Where can we buy it?
Get in front.
Outside.
Go ahead. No, they'll kill you. Reverse it.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. Very good guy. Thank you, brother.
You're welcome.
We want to buy the shirt, man.
I just made it. It's one of a kind so far.
Put it there. Find the store. We'll get it.
Where's the lady? Get in here, lady. Let's go.
Who loves you, Gary?
Thank you, guys. Thank you. You got it?
Gary. Yeah.
That was the smartest decision you ever made. 100%. Let's go.
We're not gonna pick her.
He wants to ask you a question. He's been very patient.
Yeah, be very patient. Just ask a question. Can I just go in? Alright. Can I just let me in? Alright. No, Martin. No, you can
ask someone.
You can ask. So I'm Beirut. Yeah, I started
in Beirut.
Frank channel in Beirut. Beirut half a million subscribers. Alright. So now I have an agency growing it, but nobody's accepting the fact that there is an actual value from it. So how do you convince the business owners?
You don't.
Show them.
I've spent my whole career not convincing anybody. You find the people that are already bought in. When I started Vayner, 90% of my meetings were 5 minutes long. I walked in, I could tell they were full of shit, and I nicely, I'm not a dick, was like, thank you for your time, so that I didn't have to waste another minute trying to convince somebody I couldn't convince, and I found the 3 people that I could convince, and that's how the company started. Too many people are passionate about convincing people. I said it on stage, I don't give a shit about convincing people. But I didn't. You understand? I did it. You're welcome. Thank you. But I did it. We all start at 0. Hurry, get over here. Come on.
Happy birthday. Go home.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. Love you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys, so much. Thank you. Quick, before they kill you. Bye, guys. Take it. Love you. I love you guys. More and more. Every single day. Probably 18 months.
Meg is always looking out for us. She's like, that was awesome, Gary.
That was awesome.
How do you feel?
Loved.
Look at those girls. They're all standing there. Did you notice how everybody was saying, thank you for so much about talking about authenticity and purpose and saying things about society? Like, that really resonates.
Because it's the truth.
It's the truth.
You know? If you're on the right side of truth, it always will work. I'm 100% right about what's happening in marketing. There's 0 doubt in my mind. And I'm willing to deal with the patience that's required to see something like that through, and I'm willing to deal with the ridicule or the pushback of the establishment.
Yeah, but it's that adult messaging that people in the Middle East, they don't confront those topics.
I'm very aware.
Yeah.
Guess what? They don't confront them in the U.S. either. Because the U.S. confronting is a vanilla version of it that skews so far ideological in the other direction. That's why we're not able to achieve a lot of things.
Yeah.
It goes so extreme the other way that it becomes not practical.
Yeah.
It's what Europe's problem is.
Yeah. No, and it's being real with them, and it's cutting straight to the
It's
chase.
the balance. Yes.
They want the Arabic merch.
You've started a good side hustle.
We're going to Emirates Tower.
How do we do a time?
Straight. We're perfect. We were supposed to leave at 2 o'clock.
Amazing.
It is
1:51.
1:51. We signed every book. We didn't leave
Wow.
anyone out of the line.
That's great.
Yeah. It was kind of hectic at the beginning.
Had to.
Very rarely.
Very rare. But we had to.
We've won that game most of the time. Okay.
We lost like 4 Sharpies and 5 Sharpies.
Yeah. Stayed forever. We stayed forever there.
What do you think, Claude?
Rockstar status. Right, take away. We're gonna go up, and then we'll come
No.
back down.
But I have no idea. There was an interesting time where I talked about, this guy quoted it, I consume you. That was interesting. The whole where I was like, what I actually, starting to say, I've just started, oh yeah, I've just started consuming, like I've just started articulating it more aggressively. Yeah, it just kind of, you know. Look at this photo.
Oh, that's awesome. Somebody posted it?
Sharjah EF, like the actual official.
I'm looking at your story now.
That's an interesting quote. I've never said that. Too many people underestimate what's in front of them and overestimate what's outside of them. It's true.
You did see that.
Garyvee didn't swear once. I'm proud of him.
You said crap. You said crap.
Yeah,
look at that. That's okay.
Crap's not a curse.
And then there was a time when the microphone cut out when you said national or
It was really funny. I was laughing. Let's do that.
Just say I just left Sharjah and I want to ask questions.
What up, everyone? Just leaving the big keynote in Sharjah, heading back to Dubai, off tonight. Oh, look at that, entrepreneur.com billboard. Perfect timing. Big shout out to everybody from the Arabic page. Thank you so much for all of you, for all the love. Big waves to all of you guys. What up, what up, what up? Mahani, what's up? Araf, great to see you. Mahani 3, what's going on? Yatsha, good to see you. Thank you guys for jumping on. Thank you for supporting. Super humbled. Wanted to jump on this live because A, I'm in the region. B, I wanted to allow you guys to ask questions. So please go to my latest post, which is an interview I was giving at the conference, and ask your question in there. Please go to my latest post and ask your question, and I'm going to do a bunch of Q&A throughout my day here in the UAE. Thank you guys so much for the support. See ya. And live. I saved that video to your phone and I shared it. So.
Thank you, Gary. That was great.
Okay, so I guess that's it for tonight. At current timestamp is 5 hours 20 minutes and 26 seconds out of 7 hours 19 minutes and 50 seconds. So should definitely be able to complete it tomorrow. That was fun. Big shout out to Evan. Was good being on the live as well. It took me a little bit longer to get through this 1 hour and 20 minutes, but it was definitely well worth it. So I'm going to end this video here at 18 minutes, well, at 19 minutes, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create some of the Instagram posts and the IG stories posts from some of the things that I extracted. There are certain points in the video that I'll probably have to go back to, like that 4 hour 30 minute slot where there was that very interesting quote. I might want to go back to that, but that's about it. I guess the next thing that I'm going to be doing now is start looking over a few things that I want to get done into tomorrow. So like planning tomorrow ahead. Should be at early morning. Hey guys, I'm back again. So apparently this is the only way that I'm able to get this shot because my camera, I don't have the tripod that allows you to bend it over like at 90 degrees. So basically how I'm going to be doing this is like this. So you'll be watching my phone like that. And I'm trying my best to keep it focused on the phone and not on my toes. So I guess that's the perfect position. So what I'm doing in this video basically is literally take those little snippets that I took from the 1 hour and 20 minutes of the 7-hour video that Garyvee had up, and I'm making content for Instagram and Instagram stories. So that's basically what this is going to be about. Let's hope it takes me less than 20 minutes so I don't have to put this in two. So I had previously recorded or documented those 2 takeaways in my notes. So I'm going to go into my notes. I don't know how this is going to look, but let's see. So the first piece, the first one was that this is the primary device of our society. Life has always been about the primary device, whether that was the horse and buggy ... or the television. So copying that, done. Like I had said before, I already have a video, an image of Garyvee holding up a phone. So I'm going to go into Canva, create a blank post. I'm creating this specifically for Instagram. So I'm going to tap to create the background. I'm going to go to my camera roll to find that image. Perfect. So there's the image, and fortunately it's also speaking here. So I'm going to add text now to this, and I'm going to paste that. I'm going to move it to the left. It's also good that the background is black because now I can easily change the text to white and it will show up really good. I'm going to make it be left aligned so it shows up well. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger, and I'm going to make it thinner as well, so it comes in. I need to make it even thinner. Okay, let's see if I can change the font to something more easily readable, or something that stands out better against the background. I'm going to take the Garyvee off it here so that it fits better. I think I'm also going to try moving it around here. Apparently this is the best position for it. Okay, it's kind of small, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make it huge. Let it take over the image. And now I can't have it as white, so I'll have to do something about that. As white it doesn't fit, or I can make it really bold, like changing the font size. Change the font. Okay. Ooh. I need something that's in all caps. So let me try and find that. 1G. Okay. Okay, I think I'm going to try and work with that. Okay, well, I've changed my mind and I'm keeping it like this. I'll probably make another version of it, but I'm going to keep this one. And now I'm going to actually make another version of it. Let's see. This isn't bad. See if we can add some text over that. Okay, this could work. Okay. Okay, not what I was intending. So okay, I'm going to have to delete this group, add text. Yes, this is it. That it seems like it. That text I think can be white. Perfect. Done. I think this one I can definitely make this bold. Nice. Yes, there you go. And just a good measure, I'm going to drop the, yeah, so that's it. I'm going with this one. Okay, and that's it. So, well, I'm going to bring it up in camera to see how that looks. And that's what you have. Yep, so that took about 10 minutes to create that. As I said, I'm going to do one for Instagram stories as well. So actually no, let's go back, see all, blank one, and see all this image. So that image doesn't work for stories, unfortunately. Okay, so that will work for stories, and the quote I'm going to use is the second one. That was this. You can't worry about other people's judgment. That's when entrepreneurship gets tough. I'm going to select this, copy it, go back to Canva, add text, create my own, delete that. I can make this image, I can make it white, like white text. And I'll make up to the left, put it down there, needs to be wider. Yes, center wooden turret. And then Garyvee, done. Done. So that's the two pieces of content. And I'll just save those for posting to Instagram. That's it. Jizzy is not sleeping. Okay, so let's see, I got 169 views on my post, 120 of which came from just using the hashtag stock market. I want to save that. And, can't promote it, so interesting. Okay, let me talk to Julie. Sure, no problem. Alright, so sure, no problem. It's later on today, fine. Okay. And why are you not sleeping? Okay, so that's it. This video turned out to be 16 minutes long. I'm not going to let it go much longer given the limits of this camera.